Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime.
Glad to be back. Kind of been a struggle the last couple of weeks getting everybody organized and ready to go.
That's right. We had remote the week after we came back.
Yes.
And then last week we had a holiday celebrating Martin Luther King, and we were out.
And
then the electricians came in.
And then we had Friday, we had a virtual day.
Yeah, so let's get into that before we talk about our
Kinda get
COVID
our
summary. I know, right, about where we're at.
Although we're almost to February, we still got a chance of some weather days. So just kind of back to where we're at. Remote days are when everybody stays home, teachers, staff, and students alike, and we do our work from home. And then we have virtual days, and when we do virtual days, all the teachers and employees come to work, and the students work from home, and pretty much should be working on their same schedule where they're logging on to work with their teacher at the same time. If it's secondary, it'd be their class period time, and if it's elementary, obviously, they'll be working with their classroom teacher throughout the day.
And then if we have pending weather, we always like to let our families know as early as we can, hopefully by 5 o'clock the day before, right?
Yeah, obviously, if the weather's really bad and it's not safe, it would be a remote day because the teachers would be home and we wouldn't ask our teachers to drive to work in unsafe conditions. But you could also have days like we did last year where we had water lines break or different things happen where students couldn't come to school. We could have electric outages or different things going on, and then those could be virtual days. So that's one reason why we build in our calendar one or two of each so we can practice and always get better at those, because although we know our remote and virtual days aren't as good as face-to-face, we are so much better at teaching virtually in a remote or virtual setting than we were last March, 2 Marches ago when we let out for the first round of COVID.
That's right, and we don't ever want to get back to that
Oh,
spot.
no, we'll do everything we can. Again, we work really hard. Our staff have been, I say it all the time, our staff have been heroes. They've been up here working every day. The only reason we win is our absences got to the point with staff that those that were coming were becoming babysitters and trying to monitor 1 and 2 and 3 classes at a time, and it was more of a supervision than it was a learning environment. So we went home and we went to home learning where we hopefully improved the environment. Now the high school, because the high schools have so many activities sometimes on Fridays, you couple that with the COVID or absentees due to, the flu and stomach viruses and all the other things we got going on right now. You put those together, so then we chose the virtual day for the high schools.
That was last Friday.
Last Friday, yes. And then last year, if you'll remember, we did that a lot in the spring because of all the activities. We've talked about how that'll look this spring. We'll kind of see how we get through. Have we used any of our snow day times? How many virtual days have we loaded ourselves down with when we get there? But that really worked well, so it's something we are definitely, as a leadership team, having those discussions about how do we make that work. Did we need 8 Fridays last year? Could we have done it 4 Fridays or 2 Fridays? So we're definitely going to look at it. And then as far as COVID goes, hopefully we're into the spike and starting back down on the Omicron or this last variant. But we still will look at it and monitor it building by building and the district as a whole as to we need a virtual day or some way to get away from us because we're safe for supervision.
And we do update our COVID page regularly, and it's under the community tab, very easy to find. And then it's LPS COVID summary, and we just finished that, and we'll update it again.
And we still test for COVID.
Correct.
We're even looking at, we got a federal grant to get some more COVID tests and even get I can't remember the names of them, but the ones that take a couple of days that aren't the rapid, that are supposed to be more accurate. So that goes on, and you just need to follow the website and call your school and so forth, because obviously we make a plan and have a schedule for that, but our nurses can be called out to other duties because they were hired for a full-time job that did not include COVID testing, and also some of our nurses have had the unfortunately have come down with COVID or, the flu or any other of the viruses going around, so absentees can hit in our nurses. So check before you come up and wait, but we've tried to make that as simple and seamless as possible. But it is something we're offering our families and our students.
Well, our students and our staff.
Our students and our staff, but our parents for their child.
Correct.
A way to quickly test. If you've ever been by Cameron when they're tested, that's a long line. We're trying to make it a lot easier than that to get tested. So.
And the health department does have testing available by making appointments as well, and they're really efficient in getting that done.
And again, another great thing our staff has done, our nurses are offering testing. They didn't take the job to be COVID testers, and it's not something they get excited about doing, but they've all stepped up and doing their jobs, and we appreciate the hard work of our nurses and all of our staff.
And there is a change for this week. It's Thursday and Friday, and we've pushed that out on our social media, and I'll attach that in here. But it's just for this week, so we don't want to update the current schedule as it exists. But if you come to the LRC, they're now testing in the gym, so it's really helpful.
There we go. And you know, hey, let's talk about some good things.
Yes, that's right. So
Speaking of the LRC?
That's right. You want to see something really cool. I don't want to mess it up, but look at this, you guys.
Our new floral design class.
That's right. And it's so beautiful. It smells so good. I wish you guys had
Even
smell-o-vision.
somebody who's not into all that foo-foo.
I am. I think it's beautiful. And the one thing that, this is their first design. I just have
Yes.
to keep holding it up because it's so pretty. But they're also talking about Valentine's opportunities. So if we have that and they're able to get that put together, be on the lookout because they're going to sell some Valentine's flowers, and it's just perfect.
That would be awesome.
And as the arrangements, as the week goes on, because I've talked to them, because I'm like, how do I get this? How do
Maybe they can remind me to buy mine on time.
We'll make sure Mrs. Hime has her arrangement for you. But as the classes go on, the floral design, the designs get more intricate. So I can't wait. And it smells beautiful. So I think I'm going to have to snag this one and take it to my office.
You think you've already claimed it?
Don't tell her, but you guys, look at that. That's so pretty. And
Isn't it exciting? Our students are making those. And that's,
Correct.
When I came in today, I saw numerous students carrying those around. So it's very exciting that we're actually accomplishing things, and that sense of accomplishment gives them, they can find out if that career is something they're interested in.
And if you can't, they'll just have that skill for later on when they host parties or want to share out, love with somebody. Here's the other thing happening at the LRC this week is the drone competition for our middle schools.
Ooh, I didn't even know about that.
Yes, and that's going to be later on this week. And then if you're
Where are they going to do the drone competition?
In the gym.
Okay.
So if we have middle school students that haven't signed up already, there's time for them to do that. And it's on our Facebook, and we've got it on our website as well. And that's done by Great Plains Technology Center for those students interested in drone and engineering. And,
so
robotics.
exciting. And that's what, our students got to realize, and even our parents, as we move into this pre-enrollment time, is all the things Great Plains offers, all the things you can take concurrently through Cameron, and even Western is looking at trying to bring some classes to us. And then we offer as a district, and then the other side of that is, as a district, we don't want to restrict to anything. If a student wants something, we would love for them to go find classmates, and if there's enough of them across the district, we'll try to offer it at the LRC. So there's some really, really great things going on with that.
I'll put this in your ear. Did you know Lawton High is preparing for an aviation class next school year?
Isn't that amazing?
That's right. And so it's been fun to watch them transition and see what it takes. We have some great celebrations. There was the MacArthur High School partners co-ed volleyball team after school because of the same thing.
Yes.
They wanted to do that, and now they have a club.
Hey, and we've gotten a grant, and we're starting to work toward building an ag mechanic shop, with something that we haven't had here. Most every school has an ag mechanic shop for whatever reason, and it said we're going to put it here at the LRC. We're going to build a state-of-the-art ag mechanic shop. And again, that'll be something our students, we're going to expand our vocational agriculture program where students can come to the LRC and take various classes. And again, it's something we're just looking at doing to create opportunities and knock down roadblocks for our students.
And let's talk about the celebrations. This past weekend, they had the swim team that had area championship.
I saw that all over Facebook. Congratulations.
Records were being broken.
Yes, always awesome.
And then we also had the Ralphie's birthday. So have you seen that post out there? So Douglas Learning Center has the opportunity to raise some donations for the Lawton Animal Shelter.
Yes.
And it's Ralphie's birthday, which is Mrs. Mason's lab. And so this week, if you guys would like to contribute, they're accepting that. And then on Friday, they're going to donate them.
Oh, awesome. That's exciting.
It's a lot of great things. Now, there was something else that we want to talk about. The signs at the high schools.
Oh, awesome. I don't know if you've seen, but MacArthur High School got theirs first. But, hey, big shout-out. Liberty National Bank bought nice signs for all 3 high schools. And it's really a good-looking sign, and we're excited about that. I know they're still working to get the power and stuff to it, but it's got their mascot on it, and it's got their school colors, and it's a nice-looking sign. So thanks again to Liberty National Bank. Hey, they installed them, they bought them, they did everything. And turned
Didn't cost us anything.
Didn't cost the school district a penny, and they turn it over, and they're going to get able to put their messages and make it. It'll be a message board sign, so it'll be away from where Lawton High still got the letters. You go out there and put on there, and somebody has to do that. Now sitting in the office, they can program it and keep it going just like we have at some of our other school sites. For a big shout-out to them and as a big shout-out to our high schools, and we're excited about getting all those signs in.
And then Eisenhower will have theirs too. So, yes, and then the middle school, we're seeing some of those come in. Digital signs all across are starting to happen.
Very exciting to have those, get our messages out and so forth. We have one here at the LRC. We're looking at upgrading the one at Central, which is right there on Cash Road in Fort Sill. So that's a really spot where you can catch messages and try to keep you informed. That's one of the things we really work hard. How do we keep our parents informed? We have a web page. Some people will go to the web page, some won't. We really worked the team your team has done a great job with Twitter, hashtag #WeAreLPS or hashtag LawtonPS. So we have a couple of hashtags you can follow and get a lot of information about Lawton and our students and the great things. Facebook, which I've never been a really big Facebooker, but I've noticed lately when I look at Facebook, there's a lot of Lawton Public Schools information on there. A lot of our schools and classes put some really good things on there and some celebrations. So we're really trying to expand. Obviously, the podcast that we're doing right now is to share out information. And we always look for questions. What do you know? What do you wish you knew? What could we get to you? Who should we bring in to sit with us and talk about what they're doing at our school? We've talked about maybe even including some students in the podcast. So
I can't wait for
exciting
next week's
times.
guest.
2022 is going to be an awesome year.
Mr. Hime, anything else you want to celebrate?
No,
we have tons of it. We have basketball is in there, wrestling.
Matt girls got second in the tournament. I saw that. Wrestling's rolling through. We've had some successes there. Hey, we're going to be in districts and regionals here pretty quick, so stay tuned and follow along on the web pages. We're on your district sites or your high school websites.
Correct. And congratulations to our academic teams. We knew they had their playout. Regional is happening and state in February. So good luck to everybody that's out there. Mr. Hime, thank you so much for your time. We're so glad to be back. But until next week, we wish you guys well, be safe, and make positive impacts. Have a great one.